I just want to tie this together. We had to learn how to make it easier, and that's why you're learning the birth skills. But there was another point about this is how did we know if our labor was progressing or not, and what could we do? Well, we could use these skills if it wasn't, but how did we know? And that had to do with what our baby is telling us, whether we have tension inside, whether its space is bent, or whether we're compressing its space. And if we're not doing those things, and the size of the baby relative to our container is reasonable, then we're going to have a progressive labor. And what's that going to look like or sound like? Well, it can still sound like you're suffering. You can still scream throughout it. But every hour or two, your labor contractions get longer, stronger, and more intense. That's what happens. It's a progressive labor. And labors that are progressive last between 3 hours and 10 hours. They get up into 12 or 15 hours. There's a period of time where the labor has stalled, but you probably haven't recognized it. And remember, when the cesarean rate was 4.5%, the labors could stall for days. We still hear women say, I was in labor for 72 hours or so. If there's tension in your body, or your baby's space is bent, or the space is compressed, you won't have progressive labor contractions. They're going to go up, and then they're going to plateau off. They're going to be spaced out, and they're not going to progress every hour or two. They won't get longer, stronger, and closer together. You'll be able to say to people, I feel I've been doing this for hours. Women aren't fools. Then we know when our labors are progressive. Sometimes we hate them more because they're very fast, and sometimes slower labors are gentler on us. But it's frustrating when it goes on past 10 hours. It's hard work. And when you're working 10 hours nonstop, you can't break for lunch, you get tired. And when you get tired, the medical profession is going to not want you to suffer. So they're going to want to help whatever way they do. So what did Birthing Better families do in the 70s and 80s as we were developing these skills? We answered that question, what about me? And what we did was we realized that we had to learn to read contractions. So in this lesson, you're going to learn how to read your baby's contractions. Labor's progressive. You may never use any of these skills, honestly. If you learn them in pregnancy, you might be able to just stay open inside, even when you're having a lot of pain. However, if your baby gets stuck, if you feel it's stalled, then you're going to be able to read contractions together as a team, and you're going to be able to modify the space inside, the tension inside, the position of your upper and lower part of your body, or how your body is being compressed. And you're going to be able to modify those things and then determine whether the labor then begins to pick up. That's your purpose. Thanks for taking the course. We always hope that you'll tell other people about birthing better. It works for all births. We all birth better when we use these skills.